Right.
It's like $25 and change. You say, Jane, what are you doing? I'm telling you, it's going to be the most fun you ever had. You're going to want multiples, but it is coming up at the end of this hour, right before we talk about something new. Okay, so just like we saw with that Meyer lemon tree, which we started with 9,000 and now we only have about 900 left.
Wow.
For the year that happened last year, it sold out completely.
That's right.
This is my pick of the show because again, for me, it's got to be easy. Number two, it's got to be low maintenance. I want to sit on the deck with a nice glass of white wine and not have to be doing a lot of work.
That's right.
And so I always turn to Roberta's because I know they're going to steer me right and say, Jane, if it's in this show, it's going to be easy for you. And that's what Steph has brought us. And remember, this is a family that approaches cultivating the plants in a way that nobody else does. And I just want you to all hum Tchaikovsky's Waltz of the Flowers for me right now, because when you look at these roughly floating beautiful blooms, I have never seen lilies look anything like this before.
I know it.
It is brand new. And of course, if you look at what lilies mean, they're a symbol of love, romance, and passion. So again, an IOU on Valentine's Day, maybe along with some pretty heart-shaped jewelry, would be a really great way to go.
There you go. I love that, Jane. And you know, you mentioned if you're going to grow it, you want it to be easy, but you also want it to be beautiful. And when you take a look at these Roselilies, you think to yourself, they're almost too elegant. They must be hard to grow, but they really are a cinch. And I want to start off by kind of explaining what it is. So. What I have here in my hand is a traditional stargazer lily. Most of us are familiar with them, but you'll notice that she only has 6 petals, and in the inside there are anthers that will eventually be covered in pollen, and that is a huge mess. It gets all over your clothing, stains. Nobody wants that. So then you introduce this beautiful rose lily, kind of like the cool cousin that's come to town.
She's a sophisticated person with a lot of money. That's
she
who
really
she is.
Absolutely.
This is just looking fancy.
Look at the side profiles. Now, what I have in my hand, this is what we call the Anushka, and we'll go through the varieties here in a second, but you'll notice the side profile. There are layers upon layers of petals, 18 to 24 petals on each flower, and most importantly, in the middle, none of that pollen mess. So if you're like me, I'm putting my nose in all my flowers because they smell so beautiful, and now I don't have to worry about having pollen everywhere.
I wish I had a dime for how many times it's on the sleeve, right?
Oh my gosh,
because
me
you're
too.
leaning over, and again, they make such gorgeous cut flower bouquets.
Absolutely.
But will you tell us what you put together in these colors?
I would love to.
Because this basically looks like a fancy Hollywood set designer came in and picked this bouquet.
Yes.
And you're going to have this season after season after season because they're perennials.
Yes. So let me show you. Here we see them all mixed together. So this rose lily collection, I was telling you before the show, Jane, perhaps you at home, you've picked up our previous collections of rose lilies. This one here has 2 brand new colors, so you want to add this to your garden. Right. So here you see that Anushka, the one that I was just showing you. She's a returning favorite. And she has what we call a Piketty petal. So you'll notice every petal is white, but then on the edges, it's like airbrushed with that beautiful pink.
And look at that bouquet.
That's in my brother Devin's house.
I mean, what would you spend on that bouquet? And you're getting, again, the 4 pieces for under $34.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, it's wild.
It's wild. And what's so special about these rose lily bulbs is that it's a 4-piece collection, but your bulbs are going to give you this very first year, you know, 2 to 3 stems, but then each stem has 5 to 7 flowers. So if you do the math, you're going to have dozens and dozens of flowers.
Oh, the Doria is gorgeous.
The Doria is gorgeous. She's a returning favorite. I love her for the ruffles on the edges of the petals. It's almost like a watermelon color. And then the Leona is brand new. She is that classic, stunning white with a hint of sass with that chartreuse center.
So pretty.
And the beauty about having white in the garden is that she lets everything else shine during the day, and then she really glows in the evenings.
I mean, this color combination is so sophisticated.
It really is.
But you might say, is that going to be hard? First of all, we mentioned this with the value of the day. Every single time you buy anything from Roberta's, it gives you the planting and growing guide.
Absolutely right.
So all
that
the
we write them ourselves.
Yeah, tip for success on the back. It's not copy and pasted across the board. It's unique to every single one of the plants that you're buying, but whether it's in a container or in the ground, you will be, I think it's the most elegant lilies I have ever seen. It's
100%.
just sheer elegance.
Yes, I agree with you. And here you see them in the container. So, and here's my beautiful sister-in-law, that's Devin's wife, giving her flowers a nice big hug because they really are that special. You're gonna want to cut them, give them as a gift to a loved one. What's really great about the rose lilies is, as elegant as they look, Jane, they're super easy, but even more so, they're super winter hardy.
So do you want to show us what we get? And also,
love
like,
to.
if you've ever gone and designed a bridal bouquet, you probably have lilies, again, the symbol of love, romance, and passion.
Yep.
And so, like, this is what the most expensive bouquets in the world are made of. And you're going to have them in your home.
I know, for years and years to come. So you're getting a 4-piece collection. Each bulb is one of the special varieties that we were just going through. And I also want to mention that this collection includes a sample of our Roberta's Bounty all-purpose plant food. And why that's really important is, if you want really spectacular flowers, you got to give them some food, you know, help them out. So this sample is actually going to produce an entire gallon worth of fertilizer.
Awesome.
So it's going to give you a little taste, give your plants a taste, and then if you really like your success, which I think you will, this is customer top rated, go on to QVC.com and you can buy the full size bag. But we want to give you just a little bit extra help to ensure great success.
And it's kind of a lot of extra help, but there you go.
That's right.
So you plant them once and then you're done.
Exactly. And like you mentioned, my grandfather always said they're too dumb to die. Truly, if this was soil behind me, I could just throw them over my shoulder and I promise you that they will come up. Exactly. And it's so cool because, you know, a lot of you watching, you might live close to the Canadian border where it's very cold. This can take temperatures down to like -30.
Wow.
So as beautiful and almost, you know, elegant and tropical as they look, they can take those cold temps, but then for me in SoCal, they can handle the heat too.
Right.
So you really do get the best of both worlds.
And the only thing you want to do is not get enough, right?
Exactly.
Because, like, here's the thing. Like, we talked about the Meyer lemon tree. Well, we're down to about 900, probably less than that now.
Exactly.
So when that sells out, it doesn't come back in until next year, and you've missed a whole season.
Right.
Ditto the today's special value. If you don't get your sun patience before midnight, you're spending more, or you're missing out, and you're also not being able to lock into that price for next year, which is unheard of. That's why it's the only item in the show. But these beautiful rose lilies, get more than one set. Again, look at the easy pay. If you got 3 sets, what's that, 6, 12, 18, you're basically at a little over $20 on easy pay.
Incredible.
And can you imagine what you're going to get?
The flowers you'll have season after season. These are going to come back to you year after year, just truly gracing you with the most beautiful flowers you've ever grown.
And stay tuned. If you know, you know. If you don't, you're going to be like, wait, what?
That's right.
I know. It's where the whole Roberta's story started. And I'm not surprised that 400 are already gone. Now, it is the most, it's the most ultimate of a Jane Tracy